I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. Wait, that's the wrong Minka. In fact, it's not even Minka at all. That's Mika. All right, enough torturing your eardrums. Minka Kelly stars in the Netflix holiday rom-com Champagne Problems. It's a cutesy love story that takes place in France. So should you add it to your list? An on-the-rise executive travels to France to secure the acquisition of a renowned champagne brand before Christmas, but her plans are upended when she falls into a whirlwind romance with a charming Parisian. Okay, so I feel that I have to give this disclaimer every time I review a rom-com, and then especially a holiday rom-com. I have an extremely low bar when it comes to enjoying these. I'm not expecting greatness, but I do appreciate freshness and a lack of hallmark qualities, meaning that they're the exact same plot, story setup, and even progression with perhaps maybe a change of name or location. I think Ted Lasso summed it up best. Hallmark Christmas movies are films that feature women from the big city, fall in love with their childhood crushes. It's usually some fella that owns a Christmas tree farm. So with Champagne Problems, we follow Minka Kelly as Sydney, the merger and acquisition exec who is attempting to purchase a world-renowned champagne brand. Now, on her first night in Paris, she meets this charming Frenchman who steals her heart, and as luck would have it, she then stumbles into him in the most unexpected of situations. Except we totally expect it. This also stars Tom Wisniewski, which I'm pretty sure I slaughtered that, Fleur Leborg, Thibaut de Montalembert, Astrid Wetnall, and the stealer of scenes, Sean Amsing. Now, everything about this story is predictable. There is the sweet romantic montage of a night spent wandering around Paris, the surprise encounter later that leads to some tension, the flirty escapades that interfere with Sydney's assignment, and of course, a complete misunderstanding based on assumptive principles that leads to a tense argument, so that we can then arrive at the delightful fairy tale ending. Now, this was much better than I expected it to be. I mean, that doesn't mean that it's stellar, even great. It's just a refreshed and pure feeling take on a happenstance holiday coupling story. Minka and Tom, because I'm not going to attempt his last name again, they have good chemistry together. Tom looks a little bit like Sam Heughan, so if you're a fan of that hunky Scot, this is just the French version. But they're adorable together, helped especially just thanks to Minka's down-to-earth persona and then her approach to the character. While she's this business exec, she's not a heartless or callous seller, so she showcases genuine concern for those that she's doing business with. But for as satisfying of a couple as Tom and Minka make, the silly comedy that really sells the whole storytelling is a mixture of Fleur Leborg and Sean Amsing. Now, Borg is a German executive, and Amsing is just simply an uber-rich guy, both of whom are attempting to also buy the champagne brand. Now, Borg dives heavily into so many German stereotypes. Cold, unfeeling, obsessed with sausage. None of it's tearing down the German culture, just using these elements to make his character skillfully charming despite the mostly emotionless exterior. And then with Amsing, he's just there to have fun. I'm not sure if he's even acting because everything is up for grabs with his wit and sarcasm. He's like a walking one-liner, always quick with a remark that's delivered in such a way that it's instantly hilarious and cuddly. He's never mean or disparaging, instead using some observational humor to lighten moods or maybe steer a conversation away from some dourness. Now, the location of the French countryside, regardless of where it was actually filmed, is beautifully cold, covered in snow so that we can feel the chill while also allowing our characters to do some silly outings. There's also an unexpectedly funny sequence with Minka Kelly and cheese. Now, I think a lot of female actors would shy away from this portion of the story, but she went for it and then sold it wholeheartedly, making it all the more funny. When the obvious tension arises, it's not so dire that it ruins the mood or even the tone of the movie, but it also provides the opportunity for endearing conversations that simultaneously help to redeem a character's actions and then create an even stronger protagonist angle. This is 99 minutes long, and while so much of it is silly and cheesy, the story doesn't waste time erroneously, taking us on some wild tangents. Instead, it keeps the pacing lean and efficient, so that the targeted romance isn't lost or forgotten. The entire cast works well together, melding dramatic and comedic talents to craft storytelling beats that are punchy, funny, and endearing. And despite the lack of creative depth for character development or story arcs, the plot is full of heart, charm, and humor, creating a holiday rom-com that I want to revisit again. There's no sex or nudity, tiny bit of profanity, and no violence. I give Champagne Problems 3.5 out of 5 couches. Now, this isn't on the level of Love Hard or The Holiday, but it is worth checking out. So what are some holiday rom-coms that are yearly watches for you? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.